The principle of leverage may not be new, but the scale of that leverage certainly is. To go from 21 billion euros to 315 billion euros is a very large multiplier effect, a ratio of €1 to 15. The Commission speaks of a guarantee for high-risk projects. So presumably that means that if the high-risk projects are given priority in that sense, that the overall ratios are much higher than 1 to 15 in terms of any stimulus for when it comes to the other projects. So my concerns here are really, will business actually respond to this? Is this going to be simple enough for business to get involved with, to get on board with, or do we end up with a situation where there's a well-meaning, well-thought-out idea, but if the private sector is not engaged, if there's not enough in it for the private sector, then the project doesn't go anywhere. I suspect that the British public, particularly in the UK, are very wary of any private-public types of partnerships because of our bad experiences with the private finance initiative, PFI project, and so on that we've had in the UK, and those have not proved value for money. I accept as well that that is very different from what is on the table here today, but certainly there is a perception within the UK about such schemes. So I am rather sceptical about the ability of this scheme to actually deliver the 315 billion euros overall and the take-up from business.
First, on the leverage and how it works. Our assessment is that there is not a scarcity of money, liquidity, or savings in Europe. Actually, savings are at a historical maximum also. But investments somehow are not mobilized to the real economy and to productive activities in Europe because there is a very high risk aversion. And this is a statement of fact, not a qualification of this situation. And therefore, we think that the European budget can be put to a better use if instead of just focusing on grants, we can take the advantage of the current situation of financial markets and benefit from this leverage. So, as I have explained, the analysis goes in two stages. First, the borrowing by the EIB in the market, and then the participation in the investment projects. This leads to this 15 number leverage, which, according to past programs and the analysis of the experts, is actually a quite conservative estimate. So some may call this financial engineering. In our perspective, is the most efficient use of scarce public money. The second element that you yourself pointed out and others is risk. How are we dealing with risk? And indeed, the idea is to complement existing projects, programs in the European Union and the European budget and the EIB to undertake riskier activities. And of course, the risk linked to long-term financing of infrastructures, SMEs or social projects is extremely different. So we will have to see the different financial instruments and how to face these different risks. But part of the idea is precisely to undertake this risk, and that's why we are also thinking of a rather well-funded guarantee of 50%.